Welcome to a unique podcast where we discuss different things and topics.
No, I'm using that as the intro because then that saves us a lot of effort. Pretty much what this podcast is going to be, we're going to pick every time we have like a topic that we want to talk about for a little while. We'll pick that, we'll write some notes down and we're going to talk about it because you might find it interesting like we do. Because quite a lot, we have like these random conversations that can last for like half an hour sometimes and then
4 hours.
or 12 and then
Yeah.
that way and some of it is actually can be quite interesting to other people. Some of it might apply to you as well. And today's topic is YouTube.
And these podcasts are not scheduled, so they might happen at random times in the space and time continuum.
They're very infrequent, so don't expect them once a week or it'll be whenever we have a topic that we feel like we need to talk about. So yeah, as I said, today's topic is YouTube and some of the things that we have to talk about to do with like channel sizes and other
Growth.
things which growth and things that we have a list. Like I'm trying to keep some of it as under wraps for now because then that way it'll be more interesting when we come to talk about it. But we just want to make a quick disclaimer, we're not actually hating on any big YouTube channels, but it's just like we're talking about from our perspective on things as a small channel that's trying to grow and finding it difficult.
And how we've seen our path on YouTube so far and how where it's gotten us, listening to other big YouTubers and seeing how other smaller YouTubers have done stuff and not really achieved too much.
Yeah, and also because there'll be some people who will not have come from our previous channels. They might be thinking like, well, you haven't been doing YouTube for that long. We've been doing it for a very long time, but like we've made previous channels and we've decided like, no, we can't keep doing this channel. We need to change, and so that's why we're here. And yes. So, I mean, we was deciding earlier today, like, what kind of games should we record for YouTube for like one of our first videos on our joint channel or even on our own channels. And so I decided, like, I might actually have a look at what the big YouTubers are doing on different channels, depending on, it doesn't really matter who they are, but gaming channels that see what games they're playing. And I noticed that there was a lot of the same games. We saw it was either like, at the moment that this is being recorded, it was like Rocket League, GTA, Gary's Mod and Minecraft.
Very repetitive. Like when you went over to the channel, so you were pretty much listing up the same games over and over and over again.
Yeah, and then occasionally it'd be something different. It'd be like something like a Telltale game or like a Batman game. It was just very one-off, like one in a few channels would be doing something slightly different. And what we don't really get is how so many people can still find the same games. Like some channels have been doing like GTA since it was released and they're still doing it now and they're still getting all these views and comments and likes, all these ratings. And how can it stay interesting for so long? Like that's what I don't understand.
I don't know, it's like a bit weird, but also like when you're gonna record something, you sort of want to record some game that is interesting for others to watch. And when you look at those big YouTubers and you see all these games that repeat themselves, you sort of wonder why is this the only game that can get views?
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, surely people would be interested in other games, but it's the whole point of like, if people keep watching the same games over and over again, have you got to keep doing those same games, or can you try doing something different that might get some attention? But then even when we try to do that, it doesn't really do very well for us. Like we don't get any sort of extra amount of views, we just get the same that we usually get.
It doesn't really kick off in any direction, it just, stays at a steady flow.
Yeah, but that also does depend on like the size of the channels as well. Like I mean, for like your old channel had a lot more subs than mine did, and you still got the same like amount of views for your channel. Like your channel views didn't go up depending on no matter what we did, and mine didn't go up depending on how many I had. But we always had the same number on our own channel. So you'd have like 50 a lot, and I'd have like 20 or 30 a lot. It'd be very. It'll be the same on like most of our videos, but then that also depends on like channel sizes as well.
Yeah, but I mean, like, even though we didn't really record a lot of those popular games. When I think about it, we try to go our own way with different games, doing our own style.
Yeah, I think the reason why is because it's like, if we always thought like if we did like whatever the big YouTubers are doing, we think like, will people find that interesting, or people
Copying.
yeah, or will they say we've been copying them? And
Yeah.
so it's like, that's why I guess we've been staying away from them. I don't know. We never really talked about that. We just sort of thought, like, what game do we feel like playing and recording? And we
Exactly.
never really thought about, like, oh, is
But
the big YouTubers doing this?
yeah, but the production quality of our videos at that time, I would say, in my opinion, was a lot better than if we would force ourselves to do a game. Like the one time we tried to record Rocket League,
Yeah.
didn't go too well.
Because you got to be into the game you're playing, but we can't just play Rocket League and enjoy it because all the big YouTubers are playing Rocket League, because I wasn't enjoying it that much. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's a good game, but after you've, like, some people will get bored of it quicker than others, and I got bored of it after a couple of days.
Yeah.
And then when it came to actually, we decided to record it, it was like, yay, we scored a goal.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we tried Rocket League because at that time where we were going to record, we actually thought a bit, what are the big YouTubers doing? So we
Yeah.
tried to do Rocket League, and that turned out into the greatest fucking deleting thing ever. Just deleted.
Yeah, like,
Never
I mean,
seen.
after one game, it's like, is this really what I want to do? I don't really feel like this, and so yeah. But then I guess that kind of leads into the next topic, which is like small channels and big channels.
Yeah.
What was it you wanted to talk about when it came to that one?
It was like how the small channels would try to grow and do unique stuff, and how the big channels could dumb down on their editing and effort put into every video and still get more views and grow more.
Yeah, I suppose it's because, like, those big channels, they already have all the subscribers that they need. They already get the views that they need. They earn a lot of money. They just think, I can just sort of, take it easy and just, like, pump out the same shit every other day. And they don't have to do much to try and gain, because they don't need to grow anymore, because they already have enough, and they know that people are just going to keep watching again and again and again and giving them loads of money. So they don't
Yeah.
need to worry about, like, oh, shall I try and make this one a particularly impressive video? Nah, I'll just, put
just-
fuck all into it and just...
Just record a session and put it on the YouTubes.
Yeah, they would cut
And-
it down
Mm-hmm.
to like a average size, like maybe 10-15 minutes, which can be
Yeah.
too long depending on what the content is, and then just upload it, and then people will just watch it because they don't really feel like looking for any new channels. I sometimes try and find like a series that I'd be interested in to watch, and it doesn't really matter if it's a YouTube channel that I've already seen or not, but I'd find generally that what I do is I try and look through the channels that I'm already subscribed to before looking for new channels. So maybe that's just what everyone else is doing, and then they don't come and find our stuff because they find what they want to watch on the big channel.
Exactly, but then again, when you look at smaller channels and bigger channels, you see also that bigger channels can put, as you said, 10 to 15 minute videos that are cut down from something. But smaller channels, if they have like that size of a video, at least in my experience, they get less views and less, you don't really grow a lot on big videos.
Yeah, and I think it's because, like, how with a big YouTube channel, again, they've got all these subs, and when a person wants to watch a video and they come across a new channel that they're not subscribed to, they want to see something that's going to encourage them to subscribe. They're going to want to see like a few good videos that you've been making fairly recently to say like, yeah, I'll subscribe to that and I'll see what they can do. But then you need to make sure that it's really good stuff, and a lot of the time when you do like just like like a series on something, you're going to put less effort into the editing, and the videos are going to be longer, so that way people are going to think, oh, I don't want to watch all this, I don't know what they're like.
Hmm. That's what we were trying to do when we came up with our new style of editing, didn't we? We tried to do something new to get some attention, at least from new people touching by the channel.
Yeah, and I guess that also ties into the next topic, which is false advice from the bigger channels. And again, this isn't like hating on any channels or anything, it's just what we've noticed and what actually worked for us. And mainly what we saw was how a lot of the bigger channels, they might not have much to do with each other, but they'd always give the same advice on how to get more views and subscribers and ratings. And they just say, yeah, sorry?
Really weird advice as well.
Yeah.
Just want to say.
And it's just, they always said, just play what you enjoy playing, and that's enough to get you some people coming in. But it isn't, because, YouTube's different now from when they were trying to get subscribers. Back then, you could pretty much do anything you wanted because there wasn't someone dominating the whole
YouTube.
the whole YouTube. And now, if you just play what you want to do, which is what we've tried doing, it hasn't really worked for us. And then we decided to do something different, which we just call it the recipe,
Mm-hmm.
because we just sat down and we talked about what we thought was like, you know, the best thing to do. What would make a video more interesting. It's basically just like, you know, keep a good time in the videos, and put more editing and make it look better, and have more filling into the videos generally. That's roughly what we do, and that did give us a consistent amount of views. We consistently had this, like, we got more views than we normally did, but it was consistently, like, you know, more.
The same amount. And also, at least on my channel, I think maybe that has something to do with size, but I experienced when we started that it was actually a pretty constant growth on my channel and subscribers.
Yeah.
But also, the weird part about, as I said earlier, about the advice thing they say is like, they always say, do YouTube for yourself.
Yeah.
What?
Like, I mean, you don't do YouTubes for yourself. Like, you don't make videos for yourself unless, like, I mean, if you want to make them for yourself, you wouldn't upload them. You just edit them and render them and keep them on your computer, unless you didn't have much hard drive space. But even then, if you didn't have enough space, you'd have it as, like, unlisted or private. You wouldn't make them public. Because if you wanted to just, if you could argue, like, oh yeah, but, you know, you want your friends to see them, you can put them as unlisted and just give them the link to the video. That's all it takes. So when you make a video and you make it as public, you want feedback, you want people to see it, and not just like or dislike. You want them to comment on it and tell you what it was that they liked about the video and what it was that they disliked about it, you know?
Yeah, it's like they, at least when it's like YouTube for yourself, YouTube is like a huge online community by now, and if somebody says to you, do YouTube for yourself on YouTube, that doesn't make sense, because they say do YouTube, which is an online community, for yourself. What?
If you wanted to do videos for yourself, you'd go to Dailymotion and upload your videos on there, because no one goes on that shit.
Exactly. But it's like, when people, the big YouTubers that you look up to, say like, yeah, do YouTube for yourself and just, you know, play what you want, and it feels like they have all the big YouTubers together schemed this plan that if everybody did all this boring shit they love, they would not grow and take their spots up at the top.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, because maybe it's like, if they do stuff that's interesting, they'll grow, and then they'll spend less time watching us, and they'll spend more time watching them. We don't want that. We want as many minutes and views on us, so that way we can get more money. And maybe that's what they're saying, maybe not. But, you know, it seems like that.
Be. And also, it's a bit about the previous thing again, about big channels, and the popular games and sort of this. But it's like, when bigger YouTubers does videos, you know, whatever kind, sometimes you notice they do videos that doesn't feel very good, but you notice that they have a consistent upload schedule where they keep putting up videos, and some of them are not very good at all. But then you think, okay, so these do YouTube full time. They sort of have to do that for their own wealth, you know. If they didn't put up enough videos a month, they probably wouldn't be able to buy a piece of bread, you know.
You could. That is a thing, but then if they need to, like, keep making videos so they can sustain their, you know,
growth.
Well, no, not really growth, but, like, you know, they have to pay their monthly rent, their bills, and pay to live. If they need to do that, if it's that desperate, they could try and find an actual job. If they go full-time with YouTube and they find that it's not working, you want to make sure you can live, so you'd get an actual job. But if their excuse is like, you know, I work full-time on YouTube, I upload a consistent schedule, you want to, maybe if they wouldn't need to do that to pay, like, to get enough from YouTube each month, then maybe they should put more effort into each video, maybe upload a bit less, but they could get a lot more views.
Yeah.
You know? It's whether you want to put less effort and make more videos and just get maybe less views but more consistent schedule, or you put more effort into your videos and maybe get a good spike in your views and get a bit more money that month. But if you keep doing that every month, then you will end up getting more views and in turn maybe growing some more.
Mhm.
That's one thing.
Yeah, it's like, you know, how to get, like, for them, they just keep growing whatever they do, I feel.
Yeah,
For a smaller channel, you have to sort of do something viral
yeah,
almost.
you have to do something that's gonna get some attention, and I mean, it's not really like, you know, you could do something that like a lot of the time when I think of stuff that goes viral, I just think of like someone like the trampoline one where it's like the girl's in like when she just does like a backflip on a trampoline, and while she's doing the backflip she pisses herself, so piss goes flying. Like that stuff goes viral, but that's embarrassing yourself on the internet. If you want to make something that might be just entertaining, I mean, it might be entertaining to some people. I mean, that made me laugh when I watched it, but you know,
Yeah.
it's not, you know, if you want to make a popular channel, that's just going to be like the one thing that's going to get some attention, and anything you put up after that you may get more views than you normally did, but you're not going to get anywhere near as much as that backflip pissing on a trampoline, you know. It's
You're
gonna
not gonna
you
get
need
that
to
every time.
you need to do something that's related to what you're actually going to be doing on your channel. So it's got to be related to games. If you want to grow your gaming channel, you got to do something that's about games and it will go viral, but it's quite difficult to do that. So a lot of the time it's, you know, if a game comes out, be the first person to do that video. But even if you're a small channel, you might only get a few hundred views. You might not grow at all.
Exactly, like, yeah, trampoline backflip taking a shit.
Yeah, yeah. You do like a parody. You just, you know,
Yeah.
instead of going for a piss, you squeeze one out.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. I lost myself right there because I was constantly thinking about that trampoline.
We were on false advice, and
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I guess now we can move on to the last actual topic, which is self-advertisement for
Which is
smaller channels.
very touchy for smaller channels, and at least on YouTube. For some reason, self-advertising for smaller channels is a shame.
It's a delicate thing. You got to think about it. You can't just like lightly just start commenting and saying like, oh, can you come check me out? Because there's the risk that you'll get people. Yeah, you might get some attention, so people will come to your channel, but you might get loads of hate. That's what
Yeah,
comes
because
with it. Because like you'd want actual feedback, not just like, oh, you suck. You crying for attention. You know.
yeah, because
Don't want that.
usually when you go and post that kind of self-advertisement on like a bigger YouTuber channel, I've noticed that some YouTubers have disabled this.
They disable
Like
their
they
comments.
they say like, I would disable this in the comments because it's, you know, spam. It's spam. It's spam in a way, but also, if it is not spam, people in the comments will be. If you post a self-advertisement, they will be like,
Yeah.
and they'll be really mean to you because it's like, why would you dare put this kind of thing here? It's spam and your channel is shit, and I'll go and dislike all your videos.
Yeah, and that's probably like, yeah, that's better. That's like justice, really, for like trying to advertise yourself. I mean, I know we did that.
Yeah, it's but it's like
Not in
it's
that
like,
way though. Not in that way. We didn't do it in that kind of just like, can you go check me out?
no, we literally wrote some quotes, not quotes, but like paragraphs about how YouTube as a smaller channel is,
Yeah.
because when you try to advertise yourself, there's so many others doing the same thing, and there's forums, there are discussion places, there's so many things to advertise yourself, but usually what you get across is a bunch of selfish people,
Yeah.
because everybody wants to advertise their channel, and nobody checks out either one's advertisement. So like, the only logical thing for most people is that if you advertise on a channel where there are people watching, you might get some interested people, and you do get some interested people, but then you get 90% hate,
Yeah.
10% people that actually are interested.
And then a lot of it in your situation at least was inactive people that didn't really do anything. They just added on to dislikes and no sort of feedback whatsoever. It's just, I don't like this. Why not? Can you at least give me an answer to why you didn't like it so I can improve?
Mm-hmm.
No, I just don't like it. But it's like when we say like we have trouble with growing, that's why, and we're not hating on any channels when we say this, but as an example, Shod Leech, is that the channel name?
Yeah, something like
And
that.
then, and Markiplier, like Markiplier loves doing the whole charitable thing and helping out his subscribers, which is a good thing. But I mean, I'm not saying, oh, don't help your subscribers. You know, it's unfair on us. You know, we have to actually grow. But he did the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and if you don't know this, then it's probably a good idea you do be aware of this at least. He did his Make-A-Wish Foundation, which is something he's always wanted to do, and go and meet people who had special needs or whatever, and they were part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. He went and met someone who, they didn't seem that young, but they were in a wheelchair. Like they had some disability of some sort. That's why they were in the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah.
But when that person met Markiplier, he obviously must have asked for a shout out because he must, or at least mentioned that he had a channel, because Markiplier made a video and put it on his channel saying that he was doing something for the Make-A-Wish Foundation and talking to this person that was there, that was meeting him, and advertised his channel, saying the name of it, and then that person, without making any videos at all, no posts on YouTube, jumped straight up to nearly 300,000 subscribers. Like, they just skipped the entire grind of getting like a few thousand. Like, it's really difficult just to sometimes get to 3 figures in subscribers, and then after that getting to 4 figures is like even harder. But then like
Yeah.
he just went up there straight away, past 250,000 people. That's the whole grind gone. You don't need to work at all like on making your videos, because you know that there's going to be people that will watch it. Out of like 300,000 almost, there's going to be people that are going to watch it.
Yeah, and even if you lost all those subscribers, there's still going to be probably a good 15 to 17, 20,000 people left.
Yeah.
And from that again, that number, you will still grow again. Like, you're over the grind still.
Yeah.
Because most part of YouTube is that if you are under like 10,000, let's say, under there, you're pretty much in this shaft, in this like bottomless pit, where you have to climb up, and nobody will see you down there. You know, it's so dark.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm just going to give you a little update on that Shodley's channel. It's actually at 228,000 subscribers now, but that has dropped down quite a bit, probably by like another 50,000 since we last had a look. But still, 228,000 is a shitload. That is a
Yeah.
lot. That is a hell of a lot. And it's a bit unfair just because they had some sort of disability that they could skip the difficult part, because no matter who you are, starting off on YouTube, unless you can come up with something that's so original and so different, like gaming, doing something in gaming and doing something original and so different is really difficult for anyone at this point. You got to be creative. You got to be really creative. Not saying we aren't creative, but we do try and come up with new ideas as much as we can, and we still struggle no matter what. So it's almost like most people now starting a channel is going to struggle, and just because he had some sort of disability, that was his ticket to get past all of that.
Yeah, he jumped straight to like a big channel status, which would...
Yeah.
That status of his channel is a state where if you are a known YouTuber like that for like maybe a month, you will get sponsorships or advertisement deals or invited to these events and stuff. It's
Like E3 and things like that.
yeah. Like,
And-
he got his setup for free as well.
Yeah, he got his whole setups free. I don't even know if he can record in like a good frame rate and good quality. He probably can. If the foundation is well funded, they'd probably just give him all that stuff, which I'm pretty sure they are well funded, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Make-A-Wish. No, it's just a bit unfair, really, in a way. It sounds like we're complaining, but it's kind of true. It's a bit unfair how, and I'm sure other people would agree with me on this, that, you know, if you've been working hard for months and months and months, and then suddenly you just see this new channel that's just turned up, got a shout out from a big YouTuber, and it's just jumped past you, like, it's just leapt right past you. It's like trying to get a spaceship into orbit, you know? It's so difficult to get out of the atmosphere, and then once you're out, that's it. It's a lot easier. But then that, you know, imagine like putting like a titanium nuke turbo boost or whatever the hell you want, put some sort of quantum drive on the engine of that ship for the smaller channel that got a shout out, and just catapult straight to the moon. It's like that. It's pretty much that. And it's a bit unfair when you've like, you know, imagine you've just got out of orbit, you know, and you'll just get in there, and then you see like this big rocket that just goes straight past you all the way to the moon. That's what it sort of feels like, and you're like, oh, come on!
Yeah, or you're like still building your rocket, and you see like...
Yeah.
You see like a guy arrive, hey, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
Oh, you did it already, what?
Yeah, and you haven't even built the rocket yet, you know? You aren't in space yet. And they're already at the moon. That's what it's like, and then it's sort of like, that's the frustrating part when you've put the effort in, and they, you know, they just turn up, and there's a rocket already made for them, pretty much. That's what it's like.
I was like, when you see those kind of channels, that's when you really feel like how do I do this? Do I have to go and whore myself out on some other's channel just to get some people over on my channel?
Yeah.
Or or are you patient and do you wait and keep making content? Because the thing is, at least for me, and I'm pretty sure it's for you as well, that when you make content, and you post it, you sort of expect, okay, in the beginning it's not too much, but when you start getting subscribers, you sort of expect some sort of feedback, some sort of people that can tell you what you're doing, what can help you, what is wrong, what is bad, what is good.
I'm not really fussed on like whether how many people there are, as long as there's like a couple of people or like someone who consistently says like I like this part, but you know I wasn't really sure I enjoyed this bit, and then that
Yeah.
way you can look at like that bit and think like what was it that could have been boring about that specific part, and then if you find it out, you can fix that or you can not include that bit, and then that way the whole video consistently will be interesting, and then when that person says I like the change that you made, I think this is a lot better, then you know
Hmm.
that you're on the right track, and then possibly then that person, if they know a lot of people, like, if they might, you know, say like this channel's actually quite good, they actually listen to their audience, you
Hmm.
know, and then they'll be like, oh, I'll give them a look.
Exactly.
And that's what you sort of need, and that's how you sort of grow, and we know that, we know how we know how to do it, but it's just doing it is the hard part, because you don't want to go onto a channel and advertise yourself because it doesn't look good. It's like you're not trying.
Yeah.
It's like you can't be bothered to put the effort in to try and grow. And I see a lot of channels a lot of the time that like they say like I'm watching like a big YouTuber, and I look in their comments just out of curiosity, and I
Uh-huh.
see one of the first comments up there is like, "Hi, I'm a small YouTuber that's trying to do something different." And they say, when they say different, they say like, "Oh, I'm trying to play some different games like Call of Duty, Minecraft." Oh yeah, 'cause that's different. And then like I think, yeah, and then like I'll just click on the channel, not to subscribe, but just to see like how many subs they actually have before they, you know, like say like, oh yeah, I might have 30 subscribers, so I'm just gonna see. I need the help, and I've been doing YouTube for months, and let's see how big they are. You know, they might be even worse than me, and it turns out like a lot of the people I see that are crying for attention, I hate to use that word, but it is crying for attention, if you're commenting directly on a video, that is, and they'll have like 5 to 10,000 subscribers, and I'm thinking, be glad you have that much, and like they'll get like a few thousand views or 1,000 views per video. That's quite good for their subscriber count, you know,
It's
and
very good.
they're saying like, oh, I you know, I really want to grow. Be glad you're that far, because getting to 4 digits in a subscriber count is like the hardest part. And once you're at
Yeah.
that point, it gets a little bit easier. I mean, yeah, it's not going to be easy at all until you've pretty much made it, until you're at like, you know, 100,000. That's the only time it's going to start getting easy. Because,
Yeah.
you know, you've got that amount of views, and people who come across you are thinking like, yo, yeah, he's you know, he's managed to get that far. He must do something good. And then they're more likely to click on you because you've got a bigger number under your name.
Exactly. And
And
that's what I really don't like about YouTube, because the smaller channel you are, if you have 30 subscribers, you're less attractive to click on for new people, because it's like, oh, there's nobody else watching it. Why would I? You
yeah,
know?
it's like, you know, oh, he's probably got 30 subs for a reason, you know.
Exactly. It's like they don't think like, oh, he's just started, or like, oh, he's a new YouTuber, or maybe he has something, nobody has seen before. It's like, it's just, oh no, he's not doing good.
Yeah. And that's kind of the whole problem that we've been going through the entire time we've been doing YouTube, because we have no idea what it feels like to, you know, upload a video and know there's going to be like a shitload of people that are going to be interested. You know,
Yeah.
like I want to know I mean, it sounds greedy, but it'd be such a good feeling to get feedback. We're not like, we don't do YouTube for the, you know, the popularity or the money or the advertisement or anything. We just do it because we enjoy making videos, but we want to know how we can make our videos better, because if someone says like, oh, this is how you can improve, and then you improve it in that way that they said, you'd actually feel better about your content, because they might point out something that you didn't notice, and you think, actually, yeah, I like that much more than what I did before, and then you'll be more
Exactly.
happier with what you put up.
Yeah, and it could feel like you're actually doing some progression, not just on YouTube, but like more in like a personal editing sort of way, like you would
Yeah.
learn some new stuff maybe that you, like maybe, oh, if you remove this and or did that, it's like, oh, that's actually a really good idea,
Yeah. And then, like, you know, you figure out something, it could end up making the video, you know, the editing process a bit more enjoyable and easier to do, because editing can take a few hours, and when you find someone gives you a bit of a tip to make your thing look more professional or just better and entertaining, you might find that it cuts some time out of your editing, and then you can make something better out of it.
I feel like that's all we have.
Yeah, we got our point across, didn't we? Really, took a bit longer than I expected.
Yeah,
at least in that last point, that took quite a while.
Yeah, but if somebody here is now just passing by the video and you're at the end, I will say thank you. You actually made it this far and you listened to our rambling stuff, and you probably hate us already. But
Yeah. I mean, if you've got this far, then you probably do hate us, and you're just trying to find another reason to troll. But I mean, you know, I'm going to cut most of the rambling out. I'll keep the main points in. But I mean, it's just to repeat what we said earlier, this is just an infrequent podcast. Whenever we think of something that we want to talk about for a little while, we'll just start recording and we'll go. And hopefully you enjoyed that. Let us know what you think. If you are active on YouTube, let us know what you think about that. And
maybe even click subscribe. Please.
Yeah, if you click that subscribe button, that'd be helpful. And if you can relate to this in any way, then let us know. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, be unique. Stay unique.
Stay unique. Just repeat what you said again, like the Rocket League. It's like
when we were advertising our channels, sort of, because we didn't go anywhere.
In our names, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had like channel name and then YT. It's like, oh, you only have 524 subscribers. Lol.
Yeah, I mean, like,
what kind of reaction is that? Like, come on.